we are in Oxford today, and we have Dr. Robert Bewley to interview on EAMENA project. So could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, yes. I'm what is often referred to as an aerial archaeologist, and that means I'm used to looking at air photographs and interpreting them. Very rarely excavate, but the most important thing is that you can see large landscapes very quickly through air photography, through satellite imagery, and thus record them. And the importance for recording them now is that they're under such great threat.
That was going to be my next question. In this episode, we are discussing the current threats towards archaeological heritage. So how do you see that? What are the biggest threats and where we are in terms of losing the world's archaeological heritage?
The Endangered Archaeology Project was set up because it came to the world's attention that the sites, really important sites, were being damaged through conflict. And we were asked if we could set up a project to look at satellite imagery to record those sites that were being affected by conflict. But rapidly we discovered that actually it's things like agriculture that are causing more damage than the conflict is doing, because it's something that's happening every day. The sites are being eroded and they're not being recorded because it's a daily continuous thing. So we thought if we could document as many as possible in advance of that, it would be really important. And the reason agriculture is such a threatening part of the heritage, or threatening the heritage, is the rise in population. Populations are increasing right across the world. It's not just in the Middle East and North Africa, but that's our attention. And people need to eat, so it's important. So as archaeologists, we're not saying that we can preserve everything, but if we can record it before it's destroyed, we can understand what was there and understand how people lived, where they lived, and the period of time over which that happened.
And around these lines, the EAMENA project was designed. So what do you do in the EAMENA project? How do you do these recordings and other works?
Yeah, the main focus is to use publicly available satellite imagery. And in the Middle East and North Africa, you get really good satellite imagery because A, there are fewer clouds, and B, the archaeological sites are visible as earthworks and stoneworks. That also means that when they are being destroyed, the destruction is total. Unlike in Europe, where they can be ploughed and sometimes buried, in the Middle East and North Africa, once it's bulldozed or ploughed over, it's gone forever. So we use satellite imagery to make the first identification, and then we've created a database that's available online through the Endangered Archaeology website, and the database records all the basic information: what we think it is, where it is, why we think it's important, and an assessment of the threat, whether that's from natural causes, looting and trafficking of antiquities, or whether it's to do with conflict or agriculture. And the other aspect is also the expansion of towns and cities, huge building across every country because of the rise in population.
Which countries are included in this project?
Yeah, in the Endangered Archaeology Project, we cover 20 countries, all the way from Mauritania in the west to Iran in the east. So it's a hugely ambitious project with, fantastic archaeology in every country. But as we know, places like Jordan and Egypt, Iran have fantastic archaeology as well. So it's a really ambitious project, but we're hoping to make a small contribution across a wide area.
In this project, do you go a step further to create policies perhaps, or to make recommendations, or is it just at a recording level?
We're trying more and more to work with the local authorities, whether they're the Department of Antiquities or the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, to be able to explain to them why the archaeology is important, why we need to record it. And through the British Government's Cultural Protection Fund, we're also training local heritage professionals to do what we do, because our project is based in the University of Oxford, but we have partners in Durham and Leicester, and very recently Southampton and the Universities of Ulster. But that's only what we can do in the UK. We think that the future has to be people creating their own records in their countries using the same techniques that we're using. But as long as you've got access to the internet, you can do this work. So we're training, at the moment, we're in the middle of training 170 professionals to do what we do. And so spreading it as widely as possible.
Okay, we thank you very much.
Thank you.